What's up, everybody? I'm Jake with Hollywood Junket. We are here at Madame Tussauds on Hollywood Boulevard. It's almost Halloween, and we are in the Illusions of Horror room. There's a ton of stuff to check out, so let's get to it. We are here at Madame Tussauds on Hollywood, and I'm with Helen, the marketing manager. Helen, there's a lot of cool stuff here, and they're very accessible too. How do you make sure that nobody's going to interfere with the figures and how they don't get damaged?
A lot of trust in people. Yeah. We do say to people, right when they come in and we greet them, we say, you're here for an interactive, fun experience. Feel free to kind of hug them, take a selfie with them. But, don't damage them. Don't touch the face because it is, it's painted by artists. So just be respectful. And people genuinely are. It's really rare somebody does something bad to them.
So if somebody's feeling up Zac Efron, it's totally fine.
Yeah. Oh, that we encourage.
Oh, you encourage. Okay.
Highly. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. One of the biggest questions I have is, what is the most popular figure that you have here?
In the entire attraction, our most popular figure is definitely Selena, the singer. Yeah, she has such a huge fan base. We launched her back in 2016, and we have annual passes that people purchase, and they come and see her multiple times a year.
Wow. Okay, so I also noticed that Kylie Jenner is new in the house.
Yes.
How did you guys go about getting her measurements? Did she have to come in? Did you guys go to her? How does that work, that process?
We set up a private sitting, so we did. We got every single one of her measurements. She was great. She actually took photos with her figure when we launched it. She donated one of her dresses for the figure. Yeah, she was great.
What is the highest compliment that you have received working at Madame Tussauds?
Probably just how great the room we're in now is horror. So this was kind of my child, my baby, that I wanted to do. We didn't have horror before I worked here. So that was my passion project. So a lot of what is in this room came from my head and my heart, and I get so many compliments about it, and it makes me so happy that I do this every day.
That's awesome. Is there a certain figure in this room that is the most popular that you see taking pictures with the most?
Bella is up there. I mean, he's my personal favorite. He just looks amazing. But we have our It set that we have where you stand in the red balloons and you wear a yellow raincoat. That's really popular. It's probably one of the most photographed things in the attraction now.
It's incredibly frightening when you guys get a chance to look at it. There's a lot of balloons, and the movie Chapter 2 did just come out recently, very soon. I did
go see it, yeah.
How did you feel about it?
I loved it. It was actually really funny. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was more of a comedy.
Yeah, I was laughing. Hysterical movie, with the exception of all the blood and all that stuff. So that was great. So there's obviously a lot of figures here, and there's a lot of other Madame Tussauds locations. Do these figures travel, or do they stay inside each location?
Yeah, we actually do figure swaps quite often. So the horror figures that are in here now, so Bela Lugosi, Dracula, Boris Karloff as the Mummy, and Frankenstein actually used to sit in New York. And I said, that's crazy. We need them in Hollywood. This is where the Hollywood monsters should live. And luckily they trusted me, and we stole them from New York. Thanks, New York. And now they're here permanently. So.
Do you get to make demands for figures across the world then, if you want one?
Yeah, I mean, it's rare we get to keep them. Usually it's just a trade for like a couple months or so. We'll kind of swap out just to refresh things. We've gotten like Bollywood figures before that we've borrowed just for limited time, and we'll send, somebody overseas some more like American Hollywood icons, and just to kind of freshen things up, something different, and then switch them back.
Gotcha. Do you have any crazy stories from guests visiting here? Any crazy pictures, or did maybe one try to get taken? Have you seen anything really absurd?
I've never seen one try to get taken, but I mean, you see people do some pretty funny stuff with them. A lot of people feel up Zac Efron, things like that. I don't know, sometimes you'll catch somebody kissing a figure or something. Yeah, we used to have, we had to retire the figure because it got so damaged. Was Justin Bieber. It was a very young Justin Bieber though, so we need to get an older one. But there would be so much lipstick marks on him, and the paint would wear off because like the people just touched him so much. Like he got yeah.
So how many versions of Justin Bieber has there been?
There's in the estate. There's a few because they started with him when he was very young, and they keep releasing different ones through the years, and then they have to keep up with all the tattoos and everything.
So Justin Bieber gets violated the most of all the figures here.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, he's a stronger person for it, I'm sure.
He would be okay with that.
Yeah, I think he definitely is too. And you could probably trade it to New York if they don't even know the condition of it. You just send it over to New York.
They have one there. Yeah. So they can attest. It probably same thing probably happens to the one there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, well, JB, I guess good problems to have, I guess. Yeah. A lot of figures as well that are from people that are no longer with us. How do you go about maybe getting a figure from someone that's deceased? Would you dig up their grave? How does that work?
Yes, I personally go to the graveyard. Okay. Yes, exactly. We work with their estate, usually their family, usually, maybe a designer that worked with them, a makeup artist, somebody that just knew like every inch of them. So Selena, we worked with her family very closely. They approved every single inch of her that was sculpted and painted, and came down to like the sequins on her famous bra. Like every little detail was approved by them.
So there's actually a lot of families that just have measurements of their past loved ones.
Yeah, especially if they had a lot of different costumes and things that they wore, so that a lot of that information should be on hand, or say they still had some of their makeup that they used to use, so they'll know exactly which shade they use, things like that.
Wow. Well, I think I should probably tell my mom my measurements in case I want to get in this place one day, because traffic's crazy here. I can go today. Who knows? So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get on that. Put in my will at the very least. You guys could trade me to New York. I'll go to New York, do some time there, come back over here. What is the biggest figure that you've had? Has there been anything that's been crazy tall? Would you guys make a King Kong figure? Is that something that would be in the cards?
We actually have a King Kong. You do? It's in the lobby. You missed it because we aren't open yet. But yeah. But we'll make sure you see King Kong on your way out.
Okay, there is a King Kong here. Okay, what about a Godzilla? Would you put the big guy in there?
We shockingly don't have Godzilla, and we have talked about it. Yeah. So that's something that I would love personally.
Well, I would think as far as fictional animal rights go, he's probably up there. They fight for a lot, and I think he's done a lot for our community, especially lately, fighting for our Earth. So it'd be pretty nice to put him in there, especially for Halloween season, if you can. But King Kong is pretty spectacular too.
For climate change.
Yeah.
Yeah, Godzilla.
Yeah. Being in the spirit of Halloween, is there any crazy ghost stories or anything going on that's been a little fishy, either at this location or any other ones?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of paranormal activity in this location. The building itself is only 10 years old, but we are right in the heart of Hollywood. We're directly next to the Chinese Theater. And we have so many figures of past celebrities that used to actually hang out here. So we think that there's some energy here. We've definitely, I myself included, have experienced like funny, weird things where you'll kind of see, it looks like somebody's walking and then you turn and they're not there, that kind of thing. We get that stuff all the time.
What kind of things have you heard? Have you heard any do they do boo, like boo?
We've seen things or heard things like fall before. Like one time, like a book fell off a shelf for like no reason, and we were like, okay, why did that just happen? So
these ghosts trying to get you to read. I think they're trying to do some educational purposes, maybe. So you haven't? Nobody's ever said like I've heard like Zac Efron say like something from Zac. He's too young probably.
Yeah,
still alive.
Yeah, because it usually happens in our Spirit of Hollywood room. It feels like where most people like see weird things.
Yeah, no, there is an energy in this room for sure that once you get in, it just kind of changes.
Yeah,
it's a little chilly in here. It feels different.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you guys so much. I've been Jake with the Hollywood Junket. Make sure you guys check out Madame Tussauds on Hollywood Boulevard. There's an amazing Hollywood exhibit going on right now, so make sure you guys come by and check it out. It's a ton of fun. We'll see you guys soon. Now I got a really tall friend here, a very nice artificial human being. Can you tell me a little bit about this guy?
This guy right here is actually not Frankenstein, but Frankenstein's monster is the real name, played by Boris Karloff. But yeah, this is all of his actual measurements. He was with the big shoes and everything, and we have some cool Tesla coils. You can pose with him here. You can hug him, because all monsters are nice. Right?
Yeah, he's very gentle. Just from the 2 minutes that I got to know him, he's a great listener too. Please introduce me to your friend right here. What's this guy?
This is my good friend Bela Lugosi. Okay. So he is definitely one of our most popular figures. He is dressed in his attire from the classic movie Dracula, which is what he is most famed for. He even, when he died, was buried in his Dracula cape.
Wow.
Not the same one, but
okay.
Yeah.
Did they dry clean it before or went in as is?
I'm sure he got it like nice and tidy and Febrezed and that whole thing. Yeah.
That would make sense. Well, he looks very handsome. He's ready to go. Kill some people probably, suck some blood, I would assume. Yeah, he looks great. Cool.